Do you or have you ever suffered from self-doubt? Of course you have. You're a human being. And more so, you're an athlete or a former athlete. And would you believe that athletes, especially when they retire from sport and get into life after sports, suffer tremendously from self-doubt, specifically because of one avenue of sports that really put us in position to struggle with confidence and self-doubt. You want to know what it is? Listen in. Hey gang, it's Cletus Coffey, the founder of Recovering Athlete Coaching and Training, and this video has two specific purposes. The first one is to help you understand and get clarity around self-doubt. Now, as an athlete or as a former athlete, you probably have had bouts of self-doubt where these thoughts have crept in and it's lowered your confidence and you're wondering, what the heck am I doing? Why am I thinking this way, or why am I behaving this way? And you're a human being, so that is completely normal. However, sports did a very interesting job in helping fuel that self-doubt. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. That's the first element, is to understand you. The second element is you, as a former athlete, may have a family. Maybe you are a coach, maybe you are a leader, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you manage a team, maybe you're part of a team. Understanding these key principles here, this really one key principle is going to help you in that area. Because the way you learned it growing up through sports may actually be helping or causing those that you lead to suffer from self-doubt. So let me bring it back. There's twofold. One, we're going to address you first. This is all around value, more specifically around what you value. Now, what we know to be true is this. Now remember this saying, and this is really important. What you recognize and what you reward is what you truly value. Let me say it again. What you recognize and what you reward is what you truly value. So let me give you a story from my old football playing days. In fact, my very first year of organized football, I was in the 8th grade. And some of you who played football or have seen football on TV, back in those days, they used to give us stickers on our helmets. Remember those? Some teams still do it these days, but we used to show up on Monday afternoon for practice after a Saturday game, so stoked to get our stickers. Now, what do we get our stickers for? You could probably guess. Stats, rushing yardage, touchdowns, passing yardage, interceptions on the defensive end, tackles, fumble recoveries, you name it. It was all stat-based. So we showed up to get our recognition, and that's what they did, right? They call your name, you get up there, you go get your sticker, you slap that sucker on your helmet, and you feel so proud. Now what happened, and this was my very first year in organized football, I show up on Monday afternoon, and my name doesn't get called or recognized, and I don't get a reward, I don't get a sticker. Now, I played the whole game, I worked my butt off, I put forth a ton of effort, I left it all on the field, and yet that body of work was not recognized nor rewarded. What was rewarded was the scoreboard. And if you've watched other videos, you've heard me talk about the scoreboard or outcomes or results. That's what we're talking about. Results. Those who got results got rewarded. So when I go back to the original statement I made, what you recognize and what you reward is what you truly value. Well, then we're telling those young players that come in that your outcomes and your results are what we really value. Now, what's the problem with that? You cannot control those. You cannot control the outcomes or the results. What you can control is the effort, is the body of work, is the journey, right? Throughout practice, throughout the game. What did we do well in it? What did that individual do that helped them get those results? That is what we ask any coach, and I do this when I talk to youth all the way to FBS schools, NCAA Division I coaches. It doesn't matter. Do you want your athlete to put forth more effort? Do you want them to perform better? Absolutely, Cletus, no problem. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, if that's what you want, then we have to recognize and reward that. So, what do we really value? So as a leader, what do you value? Do you value the outcomes and results, things we cannot control, or the things we can control? Putting forth our effort, putting extra energy into the process. Doing the the mental game work, doing the physical work, extra work in the gym, in season, off season. Those are the things that you and I know are going to build champions. And yet we recognize and reward the stats. Who gets the MVP or the game ball? Usually the top scorer, or who hit the home run. Who goes to the all-star team? Those with the best stats. So sports constantly and consistently recognizes and rewards results and outcomes. Now, are those important? Absolutely. When we step into the game, or onto the track, or into the pool, or whatever you competed as an athlete, we want to win. So that's important. Outcomes and results are important. However, what do we truly value? And for you, as we look at your life post-sports, well, then you got into a career where you showed up every day early, you put in the work, you made your sales calls, or you had your calendar all set, and you went on to your meetings, and you're working with the employees, and you're doing the work. You're out not at 5, you're out at 5:30 or 6 p.m., or you're at night working on email. You're putting forth the effort, but you don't get a raise, or you don't get a bonus, or you don't get recognized in the team meeting for all this work and effort that you're putting forth. And that doesn't feel good. Self-doubt creeps in. What's wrong with me? Just like that little 8th grader showing up on the football field saying, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? I must not be good enough. I must not be as good as these other players who are getting the stickers. I must not be good as my colleague in my organization, or this teacher who got promoted, or you name it. So it still lives with us in life after sports. So let's take a step back and realize that our society is recognition and rewards are usually based on merits, stats, results, outcomes, right? Those things. That's not where life is about. So we need to, number one, detach from those things. Let's get out of, hey, if your organization or who you're working with or whatever you're doing now in life after sports, if you are not getting the recognition and rewards that you value and deserve, you need to reassess where you're at. So it's really important that if you're feeling those things, that the self-doubt, that's where it came from. Now let's talk about going forward, especially if you lead others. What do you value? Do you value the outcomes and results? Or do you truly value character, leadership, effort, humility, gratitude, selflessness, like those core characteristics, human characteristics, which are really the core of who we are as human beings. That's what we can control. And do you value those things? And if you do, I encourage you to recognize and reward that, not the results. Now, parents, this means when your child gets an A on a paper or gets a B+ when they've gotten only C's, that we don't go crazy and, oh, hey, you got a B+, an A+. Is that important? Yeah, that's great. But let's celebrate the body of work that got them to that place. And let's recognize and reward that. Hey, you've been reading every night for the last 30 days. Hey, you've really worked on your times tables. Hey, you got with a tutor, you got with another student in the class. I recognize you've been doing the work. And look at that. The results reflect your effort. This is a growth mindset. You with me? Versus a fixed mindset which says, hey, you're smart. Yeah, let's avoid telling our kids, hey, you're smart. Hey, you're fast. You're strong. You're the best player. That's fixed mentality. That's going to cause some challenges for that young person later in life, as you probably know. Because you and I grew up in a fixed mentality world. Guaranteed. I know I did. So growth mindset, it's not about the outcomes. It's about what do you truly value. And let's recognize and reward that. This goes in line if you lead a team in an organization. What do you truly value? And it's interesting. I'll say this. It doesn't matter if I'm saying this to a group of 10 or a group of 500. It's usually the common thread as I ask people, what do you truly value? And what comes up? Family, connection, trust, integrity, character, leadership, humility. Like all those things come up. And I say, okay, great. What and where do you recognize and reward your people? Money, bonuses, if they hit a certain performance metric, and then we bonus them out, or then we give them a raise, or then we celebrate them and give them a plaque for the employee of the month because they were the top salesperson. Oh, the top salesperson because of their stats. What about that salesperson that's been grinding? And if they keep grinding, they're going to produce their results. We don't recognize them. We don't reward them. Let's reward that work, that effort, that behavior, because we want more of it. So let me empathize for a moment here as we close out. Number one, I'm sorry that you grew up in a sporting world where most of our leaders, unknowingly, and it's okay, it's not a judgment on them. They only knew what they knew. Oftentimes, recognized and rewarded us based on outcomes and results. And there's probably a lot that you did as an athlete, or as a young person, or as an adult, that has been miraculous in the body of work that you've done and the effort you've put in. Now, it doesn't have to be that way going forward. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. You put forth with integrity and what you believe to be the most important thing to you, and you put forth that effort, the outcomes will come. So there's nothing wrong with you. You just keep doing you. And as you lead people like your family, or athletes that you coach, or students that you teach, or salespeople that you lead, or an organization that you lead, or maybe just your colleagues. Maybe just recognize and reward the person next to you because, maybe they didn't get the plaque for Employee of the Month, but you've noticed they've been working hard. They've been really conscious, really present. Recognize them. It goes a long way. Hey friends, if this content is helpful, if the training resonates with you, hey, leave a comment. Let me know what's working. What do you want to hear more of? How can I best, through the language of sport, help make the connection between where we were once as athletes into life after sports today? I want to be able to help support you. So leave a comment. Let me know what's working, what you like, what you need more of. And by all means, subscribe to this video so we can get it out there and help more former athletes just like you and I, so we all can make a greater impact in life than we ever did in sports.